Let's create few designs, and we're going to play around with not only cat eye but also my favorite glass gel polishes. Thanks to that, I can turn any of my cat eye into any color I wish for. I can mix and match them together. I can really create beautiful looks because we are really limited with cat eye colors, and I couldn't even imagine to have 200 cat eyes. I don't need it. To be honest, the one silver or maybe cat eye 2, cat eye 3 will be more than enough for me. So first thing first, let's go to create some geometric design, and I'm going to use cat eye 1. First thing first, I'm going to shake it. I'm going to make sure my particles of my cat eyes are all perfectly mixed together with the gel polish. And I just place a little bit product on my paper palette. And first thing first, what I'm going to do, I'm going to apply it over my black tip. Now, I wouldn't do this necessarily every time over the black. I would also do it over the maybe base or quiet neutral color as well. And we're going to apply a little bit on the neutral as well. So you will see the difference of the results. But for the purpose of this video, I've chosen the black, so you will really see exactly what we are doing and what is happening with the particles, because on the light background, they're not always visible. So first thing first, you see I'm just moving my magnet a little bit closer, and I'm just moving my particles around and just want to create this perfect glare is there. And this is my base. I'm just moving everything together. You see, the smaller the nail, the faster and quicker and better results are really I have with the small movements of the magnet. So if I have this big stiletto nail, then it's quite tricky. And then you may take a little bit more moves like this to magnetize your nail. But if you are having just small nail, and normally this is what we have on the client's nails, you see small moves, a little bit of magic in the middle, just moving everything around just to make sure everything is beautifully glared. And this one goes to the light and cured 30 seconds. Now I have my perfect clear. What I'm going to do now, I'm using the Sylvana's Choice brush. It is a little bit bigger, and I'll be working a little bit faster to create my first element. So I'm just mixing the particles on my paper palette. And now I'm going to apply one element. So with the cat eyes, whenever you do your designs, and there are different elements of your designs, you need to create each element separately, okay, and has to be completely different. So I'm applying my element. This is not the easiest. I would say you really need to change the angle of the nail, so you will see exactly the line and you will see where you applied your color, because it is really similar. Especially with the silver, the particles magnetized and not magnetized, really, really similar. I'll give you a little secret in here, because we're working with the glitters. Your lines does not have to be 100%. We'll be still okay, I promise you. Okay, so don't stress too much about this one. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to magnetize my particles from this element. Okay, so I'm just moving things around, making sure everything is nice and shiny. And once I'm playing with my magnet, I'm also letting my gel polish, giving it a little bit of time to self-level, okay? This is quite important. Otherwise, you will have a lot of streaks. And this is something that we do not want to have with our cat eye gel polish, because this will be really visible. So I'm just letting it go for a few seconds just to make sure everything is working together. And you see I'm moving my magnet towards this line. So I'm just from this perspective, from the one side towards another, making sure everything is just perfectly done. So you see everything is beautifully moved in here. Now, if you want to have this line a little bit sharper, what you do, you just pick up your magnet, see like that, and you just go a little bit closer towards this line just to make sure it's completely separate. And that will really help you to achieve this geometric look that every time when you remove it, all your lines will be really visible. You see, this line is really visible in here now. If I'll just move all my tip like this, you will see just the silver line, and then you're just moving things around and everything is moving back and forward. So just play around with your magnet and make sure you're really showing off this line with this geometric design. So I'm just moving my magnet from one side. Of course, you can use different magnet for this one as well, okay? So you can use even this one if you prefer. So it doesn't really matter. As long as you achieve the desired look, you'll be absolutely fine. So I'm just making sure my line is perfectly visible. You see my gel polish is now leveled. It's just as it should be. And this one goes to the light, and of course we will do another nail. Once cured, now we're going to move to another element, and this time I'm going to use this angle, and I'm placing my product on top of my previous layer. Set everything nice. Remember, you need to have enough product if you want to have this perfect glare, so be generous. At the same time, I would avoid to apply it for this specific way straight from the bottle. And the reason for that is straight from the bottle, you won't have that much control, especially the brush at the end of the day is relatively big and the nail will be small. So that will be quite problematic. And you see, I'm just moving my magnet, and this time I'm going towards this line, okay? So it's like opposite direction, and I'm creating this little glare in here. Make sure everything is nice and moving around. And now I'm just flipping the nail, and I'm just creating this little line in here as well. So make sure everything is perfect and the line goes against it. Oh, this is exactly how I want it to look. And this one goes to the light. Now you can do one more line, or you can just leave it as it is like this. And this is really up to you how many elements you will do on your clients. But we already have 3 elements. So if you have really small nail, you can really have 3 elements. If you have the nail that is a little bit longer, you can do more. As well, that will also depend on your time and will depend on the clients. So remember, your designs will always depend of the price for your designs, of the time. So if the design, even with the kata, you will see, okay, I don't need too many skills of this one. So this is relatively simple design. Anyone can do it. So the client shouldn't pay too much. And this is wrong, because if your design takes an extra hour to do it, you need to charge for an hour. You cannot charge for 5 minutes of work just because the working with the kata is really easy. It doesn't work like that. So if you have a lot of elements on each nail, you should charge per your time, not per design. So sometimes simple design, but when you do it on 10 nail, suddenly is not as simple. So this one goes back to the light and is back. Now, a little bit about the glass gel polish that we're going to use for this design. Now, for this one, I'm going to use the green. And if you look at your glass gel polish, if you still have them, you see that some of them are a little bit more transparent, some of them are less. So there's a trick, make sure you're using really thin layer, because if you apply too much of the glass, you may be covering the design. So as you will see now, I'm just really scraping like that. See, my brush is really pressing in, and I want to really create super thin layer of the glass just to make sure my particles are really visible. And you see, self levels perfectly just like that, and I have all of my elements visible. And every time I'm moving, I have different lines. So this one goes to the light, and then we'll be ready to apply the top gel. Now, this is our end result with the green, nice and easy. Okay, and you see every time we move in, each part of our design is just moving in different ways. So of course, you can make it in different colors, you can make it in different designs, and it's really up to you. This is exactly the same design, what I did, but this time I have used just this color as a background. So you see, it's a little bit less dramatic. Okay, it's a little bit lighter. That will be more for nudie clients. You can play around as well. And again, each particle is moving. It's just depending on the angle. This is how it is. I have also the same on black. And this one I have used with the silver as well, but it's a little bit in different way. They magnetized them, the particles in a little bit different way, so different direction. So you see we have completely different design. And also in here, I've created different pattern, again with geometrical lines. So you see, because I moved the particles in a different way, we can have this line work as well done in different ways. So you can really play around with your geometric design. Of course, whenever you do your design, put them all together as your options for the nail art, for the cat eye nail art, so your clients can see as well and offer to them that you can make them in different colors or just show them in different colors as well, how they move in. And yeah, you can as well do just one nail like that. So for example, you just do full on cat eye with the color on 8 nails, and just the 2 nails will be with geometric design. And of course that will be less time, more affordable for your clients, more both financially and time wise. And for you, you will have a little bit of fun with your cat eyes.